welcome to the channel. It is March 19th, 2025. Got a message for you here. So, these ones, these curator and all of those little nasty, they're so bold, they're making plans. Somebody is saying something about working with her, this magistrate, this universal gatekeeper, and a masculine said, I will. They need a relationship and entanglement and agreement in order to transfer soul value and wealth properly. They're sending in a Judas, perhaps more than one. These are phony balonies and they're insane. They don't believe in God, this woman's heavenly father. They don't believe in the rainbow covenant, and they don't believe in God's authority or the universe who appointed this woman here as a collective choice for representative. And these nasty jacks are wanting to go ahead and pretend friend this woman. They want to be covered by her energy, by her good graces. They want to pretend that they're friends so that they can develop a relationship. They do this for about a year before they sabotage somebody. They need that energetic entanglement so that they can do a proper transfer. So they're sending in what could be an espionage kid, a younger masculine, or of any age. Just take it as it resonates. Just be aware. They don't know that the lion and the jaguar are listening to them as they make these conversations. The root and the crown of this woman's tree are listening to them discuss sabotaging them all, not just she. So they shall get what they deserve, and it is not this woman's opportunity. The days of them devouring souls are over. This is the end of them gaining positions of authority by targeting and befriending and then betraying those who actually do have that authority. All these little friends must be intensely interrogated as to their intention and purpose when wanting to be in this woman's energy, working with her. May every single one be discovered and removed from her house. May they never step on the soil that she lives on. Torturing women are over. Raping their children is over. They're triggered. They've just triggered a wrath for their whole organization. One is saying she needs to be innocent. So they keep looking for sacrifices, and they keep targeting these women. The wombs, the portal, the gate to all of the upper dimensional Star Nation soul tribes. These low-vibing nasty jacks must gather innocence because they need them to balance their dark, evil energy. They're trapping lightbearers to bring temperance to their utopia or their mind. These nasties want to eliminate the stars and the suns who overcame their defilement. They don't want you teaching others what you know, how to counter their attacks unseen, their magical sabotages. Whole groups, whole covens of these masculines tried to destroy this woman, but they failed. They are desperate to, at all costs, no matter what. They do not want her getting this opportunity in the 3D. They do not want this spiritual powerhouse to have this experience or this authority here in the middle ground in the 3D. This is what she's here for. And these ones have been hijacking people's spiritual identities and then presenting themselves here as them. Yeah. They are desperate. Yes, they're desperate. They mean to obtain this woman. But the royal mother stated, they will not obtain you. Be prepared. They won't survive. And just about a week ago, silently, the words, get ready, flashed before my eyes. So, here we go. Here we are, continuing to move forward boldly. They aren't just attacking this woman anymore. There are actual true divine masculines and feminines of a much higher dimensional space and authority with her, protecting her. These wackos are mentally deranged, and they've been trying to swap places with us. They've been trying to run their mental derangement through our mind and then claiming our temperance with their technology and their magic, their transference. They're calling a woman an appetizer. But God said they are the new fodder. So F you, curator. They feed on the women. These things that sound and look like men feed on the women. Her womb and all of the energy coming from it. The womb is connected to all star nations. If there's enough light and power and energy in that womb, then somebody may choose to come through it and be born here. But these jackasses, they've been siphoning the energy out of the womb, out of the sacral, and there's not enough light. So some of us never had children. And if there was an attempt, it usually wound up in a miscarriage. Nasty. Jack. These ones take all the energy from the womb. They leave no energy for creation, for life. People can't get pregnant anymore. And it's due to the womb energetic harvesting and also the fact that they've been gender altering the men with their chemicals, which is causing them testosterone level issues. So these immature young men, they're very, very cocky. They want to beat up this woman. Now, I mentioned this before. There was already a man who came up to my house with a hammer in his hand. But as soon as he saw that my father was with me in the garage, he turned around and his getaway car came pulling up and he got in the car and drove off. So they've already sent Hammerman to my house. But apparently now there's at least 2 immature, cocky men who really like to beat up women who may be coming here or somewhere else. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. They want to conquer her. They're men. These masculines are pitiful. They like to RAP other men's wives and children in front of them. Perhaps even the men. These men are just vile. They're not men. They can't be. These are devils. These are devils that were brought up from level 47 freaking death. I don't know. But we got some roots here that are coming from places deeper than these ones have ever been. It was so much fun while she cried in the dark. It was so great to see those tears. conquered her, he said. So one masculine off in the distance asked the curator, she's an appetizer? And the curator replied, she's an appetizer. So there's a lot of masculines out there who are ready, willing, and ready to just come in and take it. Appetizer, food, chattel, the woman, the mother, feed. That's what these ones are. War heroes, yes. So they're going to try and trap and feed on this woman. So high alert, nasty rats are looking to feed on a soul. They need a snack. They're talking about a woman being in the Epstein files. And a masculine is telling the curator that they tortured her many times. The curator is sounding meek, trying to make excuses. She's providing housing for people, they are saying. There seems to be a bunch of guys trying to give reasons why they should leave this woman alone. But the curator is trying to explain why they should just take everything from her. May the life the mother gave them be revoked. Aho. They don't want her to help the people. Plain and simple. They want the money. They want all of the wealth. They want all of the housing. They want control of the territory. They want to command who can live, who can die, who can eat, who can starve, who can get gang RIP to death, who just gets a bomb dropped on them. They want that power, and they've lost it because God said they were a failed experiment, and the mothers are being elevated because it is they who grow life within their womb, who nurture it once it is born, once her body is torn and her blood is spilt to bring forth this life. She has been given this status of nurturer, of protector, and an army. So this is crazy that these pirate RAPist pimps, these universal pornography, making some quick cash on the suffering of a woman and a child and whomever else. Oh, do it. La 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 la. They want to continue the sex and the slave trade, soul harvesting, torture and fraud, these child RAPs, these indecent men. They will never find reason to elevate a woman. They will always find reason to harm and crush her spirit. They feel weak and insignificant around the life giver. These war worshipers, those who have worshipped death, hate the life giver. As soon as she can produce life, they're busy unaliving it, claiming the soul of it. These dead entities calling themselves leaders and men. They feel inferior. Their egomaniacs cannot manage themselves well around a powerful, sovereign woman at all. They are fragile and emotionally, mentally unstable. So, this woman made their life real good. They forced her to serve them. She gave them everything. And in return, they gave her nothing but pain and turned everybody against her. While she was in that deep, dark hellhole, everybody took big shits on her, while taking her energy and not allowing her or making it difficult for her to transmute, to alchemize the circumstance and get up out of there. They buried her hard and they sucked most of the life out of her. And she had to really ramp up the production of her life force in order to get it going. And these guys are now like, oh no, I don't know, what did we do? Oh, well, now she's got the crown and the root, and the power of this woman isn't with this woman, it's with the tree, man. Both tribes of this family are being fueled by this power that they are addicted to and in desperate need of. They're coming undone by the new or reconciled family of this woman. God said, they will not be taking anything from her ever again, nor would they ever receive anything from her ever again. They can't steal it, they can't buy it, she can't give it. They're done. They want to capture her and force her to give it all back. These pirates really want to hurt her. But everybody in her tree knows this very clearly. This woman does not deserve to be threatened by these men every moment of every day. She does not deserve to have her mental body pounded with the threats of her death every day, every moment. Torturous sexual offenses, drinking the fluids, torturing the body. What's her pain threshold? I'm sorry, guys. I've been transmuting the attitudes of these ones for decades. And I'm not feeling too sweet today. She doesn't deserve to be threatened by these men every moment of every day. They are no friend. They're no friend to anybody. Their kids are espionage kids. Not because they wanted to be, but because they were trained to be, made to be. None can be trusted. They must leave this woman's house, her territory. The people do not deserve these nasty jacks to gain control of this territory and continue feeding on their souls, leaving them in poverty. The people deserve better. They are the most highly created creatures. They've proven it by surviving this nastiness. And the ones that were delivering the nastiness that they survived and have not been emancipated from do not deserve to be in their territory. Absolutely not. These selfish men just want power and glory when they're so mentally fragile. That's the sick part about it. They're so mentally fragile that they need power and glory in order to feel like a man. And it's like, but they're mentally fragile, which means that once they get that power and glory, everything comes undone because they're not tempered and they're not loving. And they have zero respect for the woman, the mother that gave them their life, their right and privilege to breathe. Glory they desire that doesn't belong to them. Glory that has been stolen from women, cycle after cycle. Ego demands they destroy this woman. Ego of a man demands that they destroy this mother, this planetary mother, this planetary stabilizer this universal gatekeeper. The mother of all mothers, the ego of these fragile men demands that they must destroy her and then command her and her position so that they can continue their SEX slave trade and then, continue, sticking their freaking appendage in every freaking thing they can find. They are very irresponsible, and they dare to lecture anybody, especially women, about their lack of responsibility. They're masters at projecting their own incapacity onto others while saying how tough they are and they're boom, 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 boom. Put the man on the ground. Put the man on the ground, right in the center of the town that he dropped a bomb on, and let the men have their way. Damn. Men, these things, they're so freaking powerful when they got guns, when they got bombs. Hand-to-hand combat. Please. Their ego demands that they destroy this woman. They're very irresponsible. They cannot hold temperance in their own body. They use proper words of love, but they are not love. They use proper words of a leader, but they are not leaders. These are tyrants. Leaders lead by example. Leadership is about restoration. But these tyrants take everything from the citizenry. Oh, it's $200 billion for bombs. And then they're going to go take all the money from the citizenry and build billions of dollars of replacements. But we don't get to go there because they're never about the people. The people are simply their energetic supply, their food supply, their slave labor, their sexual perverted pleasure. I'm feeling a little passionate tonight. I'm feeling a little feisty. I don't know what came over me. Perhaps it was last night's escapades. So these fellas are having tantrums. They need women that they can project their inner nastiness onto, their brutality, because they are malice and vengeance and wrath on the inside. All they are is anger and dissatisfaction. They can't temper it. They refuse to do their shadow work, so they're going to drop bombs, and then they're going to explode all over their partner, their mate, their friend, whoever. They're going to download all this nastiness into them, and then they're going to say, and the sad thing is that I think that these sorcerers and these magicians feel that because they can transfer magically this nastiness onto others, that makes them superior. That they can magically overpower and technologically overpower and override the original organic communication system of the divine. They feel that makes them superior. But in all actuality, you strip away the technology, you strip away the bombs, the guns, the weaponry, and there's no comparison. There's no light in them. There's no creator in them. There's no love. There's no patience. There's no kindness. There's no compassion. How can somebody like that how can anybody think that somebody like that would actually be a good representative, guide, protector, when they require the death of their own citizenry to fuel their own importance and power? It's twisted. They operate their governing system and their delusion of grandeur on human sacrifice, called war and terrorism, chaos. What do they call that? Civil war. It's all about war, and it's all sacrifice. Manipulated technological and magical sorcery and degradation through whatever, these poisonings and such of the waters and the foods, the medicines. With the medicines, they sabotage the Merkaba, the light body. And once they damage the chariot that you use to go back and forth to the upper dimensional spaces, and they got you trapped here, and they can really lay it in, right? That's what they've been doing. So they cannot transmute the energy, and therefore the women and the children and the other men have to carry the brutality for them. But the thing about the men is they've been gender switching them, and then those who still remain real manly and want to protect and stuff, they send them over somewhere else to go, fight wars for years on end and then maybe never come home. So somebody is saying she's innocent, and this curator is insisting she's not innocent. They're arguing about whether she's a worthy sacrifice. They're arguing whether another man's spiritual spouse is worthy of their enslavement. They want to go in and take her away from the tribe of the lion and the jaguar. They just want to come on in, say, sorry, boys, she's ours now, but they had her for thousands of years. They've lost her. Somebody else's turn now. The curator has been siphoning and consuming the souls and the merchandise of earth angels for centuries. They keep what does that say? Oh, injecting. So in my arm right here, for the last few months, sometimes they inject a burning substance right here in my arm. When they first started doing it, it left a big bruise because they were doing it all day. They kept sticking it and it burn. And then eventually there was a bruise. I actually made a post of it online on my YouTube, I think. And then it stopped. But so it's like they're injecting. It's like they're injecting something into the spiritual body or your dream body, your astral body. And they're trying to cast the illusion that you're a junkie or an addict. And it simply isn't true. These guys they really perfected sabotage. They really did. Now it's their turn to be sabotaged. Yeah. So, yeah, I, for one, have never, ever been a needle user. I've never done that. No. I saw people who did. No. I heard a masculine threaten somebody. If you don't drop it, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then another masculine said, DINI, D-I-N-I, which is a majestic, beautiful woman. And he's complaining. He doesn't want a copycat. He wants the DINI. He wants the original. But these men have dedicated themselves and their loyalties to this Satan, this Moloch, this Baal. And they've got this deal where they sacrifice the earth angel, the woman, to this entity. And then they siphon the energy out. They get like 50% of the energy, some cash, whatever. And then they replace it with an identical, a copycat. And then they just kind of dress up in the energy and then do. Well, this person wants the original because the original is a powerhouse. The original can stand in their power, can bring temperance to this power, can manifest, create, do. The other one, no. They're just going to dress up in it and pretend, oh, I'm so pretty. Oh, I'm so shiny. I'm so sexy. And then they're not rooted. There's no root, there's no crown, there's simple the illusion of it. And these men are starting to realize they don't want the effing copycat. They want the real goddess. They're tired of these old men feeding the goddesses to these devil and leaving them with Jezebel. They can't become great men like that. But these old men don't want competition. They can't have these young men coming up to be powerful with their proper counterpart. Oh no, boy, you're not going to rise above me. Oh, we're going to feed that woman to the devil. You're going to get Jezebel. You're going to be happy. That's what they do. And he's arguing about it. The curator is trying to convince somebody that they need to capture this woman's energy. This low vibrational vampire is a dead man. He's a cyborg. He's an AI augmented sorcerer pretending to be innocent. Now, I don't know if it's a dude in a younger temple pretending to be an innocent like child, like whatever, or if it's just a female pretending to be a masculine. I don't know, because I think, well, whatever it is, it's like a masculine body because it's a younger, it's like maybe 12, 13 is what he's looking like. Shorter, kind of chubby, actually, but not too bad. Everybody was, well, he was going up some escalator and a man and these people were coming down and there was this older man and he was like all falling all over himself trying to touch this person. I'm like, are you kidding me? Who do you think that jerk is? He's no freaking Jesus, I can tell you that. He's a soul siphoning freaking vampire. I don't know who this curator's name is or who he thinks he is, but the way that man fell all over him, it was like he was the freaking shit. But no, that curator was dressed up in this magistrate's mind, this upper dimensional soprano's mind, and now he's lost it. He doesn't have access. He's nothing. And now his interdimensional guides, who he failed task for, have now hired 2 additional Judases who have accepted the opportunity to snatch up this universal gatekeeper and then command the position. Oh yes, they're excited about it. They want somebody to make her a love offer. So may all who attempt to come into anyone's energy with these intentions be instantly dealt a karmic return. Anybody coming into a woman's energy with the intention of siphoning that soul essence and replacing her, taking away her opportunity to be. If they intend to capture her and feed upon her, then may they be captured and fed upon. Aho, amen, wado. So it is, so be it. Thank you. These men could choose love for real. They could marry a powerful woman and create a whole freaking universe. These men, if they had themselves a true freaking goddess, a powerful freaking light-bearing woman, they could really get some work done. But the men that they keep going to for counseling or guidance, you know, they're like, dude, you're never going to advance. You're never going to get shit because this man who's telling you what you need is never going to let you graduate. You will always go to him and you will always need his permission. And it's terrible that that's what some people have chosen to do. They've chosen to give their mind over to somebody else who's making very bad decisions for them. Bad. These old men dedicated their life to this devil energy. And every child that they had birthed is trained to do the same. They don't want them advancing. They don't want them choosing otherwise. They don't want them getting free, breaking the generational curse that they laid upon them. They're like, hey, look, son, this was my choice. This was my granddaddy's choice. And now it's your choice, whether you like it or not. They know that if these young men got with the true divine feminines, that these men could not control them. There would be no more asking permission. There would be contact with source and proper guidance and permission to be a creator. So it appears that as long as these men exist, relationship is out of the question, because something or someone is, because they keep talking about it. That's all they ever want. Now, I got a few messages here. So something or someone is under siege. Something is embarrassing. And they're saying something about the Palestinians. I heard someone say coffin, and they mentioned Israel again, or the Israelites, and then they mentioned Jerusalem. One man is saying to another, you're a Capricorn. Satan is a Capricorn. Da-da-da-da-da-da. So it sounds as though they're trying to convince somebody to dedicate their temple and their soul to Satan. They're trying to get the temple, Satan, Moloch, Baal. They need this temple. And apparently this fella is a Capricorn. And Satan's a Capricorn. It'll be a great deal, man. You could be the temple and then go in there and take out that magistrate, that universal gatekeeper. You can bring forth our God and we can claim the territory, is what they're saying. It's exactly what they're saying. Capricorn is the goat. The goat is Moloch, and Moloch is also known as Baal. Baal is also the acronym or whatever for barium and aluminum, which has been sprayed for centuries throughout the United States. They plan on lighting it on fire. President Trump said that they spray a thing in the United States that no other place sprays. And you'll find out. Almost word for word. So then I had a thought form. You shall create. You shall produce. You shall share it. Or you shall have nothing. They're talking about comparisons. These nasty jags, we have been creating, we have been working, we have been building, constructing, having these thoughts while these guys have been tapping into our mind, claiming those ideas, but not producing or creating anything. It has not been a competition. It has been a slaughter by sorcerers and magicians and out freaking bomb dropping, buffoonery, enemies, parasites, wearing a man suit as though they are human. And I don't know if this is an instruction for them or if it's an instruction for us. They're talking about comparisons. This magistrate, this woman, and everybody that's with her have been, as far as I can see or know, deemed the highest created creature. The organic, original human being, Homo sapiens, has won the competition. And these guys are mad. They need your soul back. They need that power. That's how they were doing anything at all. And even though they were taking everything from you, you still won the competition. Without even knowing that you were in a competition. these nasties are still talking about divine feminines as appetizers for their energy gobblers, their soul consumers. The curator is talking about energy again. They need it. They can't do without it. They can't produce it themselves. They're disconnected from source. They don't have the rainbow covenant. Their temple isn't a manufacturer of energy. Somebody wants to harvest. Someone is talking to this curator about appetizers, souls, human beings, and these big scary men need to feed on the gifted soul of a woman. These are ridiculous, parasitical entities. They are not men, although they are masquerading as such. Someone is talking about emulating. To emulate someone is to imitate somebody or something, often with the goal of matching or surpassing their success, skill, or quality, rather than merely copying them. So, in the previous chapter, we had folks sacrificing the roses and the trump cards, and then consuming the energy, drinking the blood, eating the flesh every freaking Sunday,